Hello boys, my name is Kiliyoshi and welcome back to my blind playthrough of a new series. Since everyone's really starting to get into me doing Mario stuff, after all my channel is Kiliyoshi ITL7, so I guess I do Mario and Yoshi stuff a lot. I feel like it's time to cover over a series that I feel like I should have covered over earlier. This is Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle. It's a very great game that is very unique as a strategy game. I honestly don't know what this is based off of because I don't think there has been anything like this. I think the first thing that probably comes to mind is Fire Emblem, but even Fire Emblem doesn't have this amount of depth in its game. It's like just complete. This game is like completely unique. It also has Mario characters at all. Oh, it's just really cool. Yeah. Are you sure? I feel like there was no sound there. Isn't Ubisoft supposed to have sound on it? Okay, no, there it is. And as you might have guessed, this isn't just a Mario game, this is a Rabbids game as well. For those of you who don't know, the Rabbids series began with Rayman initially as Rayman Raving Rabbids, and then just kind of evolved into all sorts of other stuff. But here it is now on the Switch as a new series stuff. There's been a lot of stuff added since then, including some other stuff like Donkey Kong Adventure and other stuff, but to keep this simple, we're going to be stepping into only the main parts for now. So for this first part, we are going to be doing a 100% playthrough of the full storyline. As you can see, I've already done full playthroughs already. The reason why I didn't restart from save review is I wanted to make sure you guys proved that I got a couple of playthrough stuff done. I have kind of an idea what to do, but right now I'm just kind of figuring out stuff. Anyways, we're gonna delete this file because it's not really that problematic. Anyway, we need to get straight into the game here because this game is a very long intro. I'll just let it play itself. And unless you have a specific setup, you cannot skip this intro. It doesn't even let you pause, so it's almost like stuff. Later, you can skip intros by just pausing and then restarting, and it lets you skip cutscenes. But anyway, I'll just let you see.
It's been 3 months since Tech Magazine put me... Okay, us on the cover?
The Super Merge takes item A and item B and combines them to create item C.
Ugh, if only it were that easy. The article says nothing about dark matter, space-time manipulation, practical applications, nothing. I mean, the Super Merge could solve the energy crisis, Beepo. Watch! Huh? Oh, not again. Oh, sorry, Beepo. Let's take a break and come back at this overheating thing fresh, okay?
Honestly, I don't know anything about this Mysterious Girl, other than she's probably a big Nintendo fan, I could say, from all the Nintendo stuff in her room. So in case you haven't noticed already, the Rabbids are kind of troublemakers. They supposedly just go to a bunch of human settlements, at least in whichever world this is that they're from, and they mess things up, usually. They initially live in the Rayman world and cause problems there, but in this recent problem they had, something weird happens. So weird, in fact, that it completely messes with the Mushroom Kingdom entirely. And there goes Yoshi as well. Yeah, all of Mario's friends just kind of vanish for this big portal, and then he himself falls through as well. And so begins the storyline. And yes, that is a 5-minute intro. You cannot skip it, even if you tried. You cannot skip it. Now, this is I will mention this is not technically a blind playthrough. Also, I won't have time to communicate with Dell at this time. Anyways, this people think a lot has years now, apparently. Oh, you're an idiot. Well, so essentially the storyline is the Rabbids are around to cause trouble, but in this latest game they cause so much trouble that they end up doing something weird to usher fame that is to land in an area that is unexpected. And that character you saw there before, that rat with that funny helmet thing on or whatever, he's the one who caused all this. So now, apparently, I don't know, but apparently we're supposed to get him back now, somehow. I'm gonna let the rest of the storyline do the talking now. Anyways, you're probably wondering why I'm not mentioning this as a blind playthrough. Well, that's because I already told you I've played this game before, so I'm not going to show it as a blind playthrough. However, when we do eventually, I will say that we won't just be doing the main storyline, we will be doing the Donkey Kong adventure as well. That will be a blind playthrough. I've not seen any gameplay footage of it. I've only played for the main game, so I don't know much else about the other stuff. I also don't know anything about this game's sequel. Yes, this game got a sequel. I figured I would get through this game first. Anyways, we have to deal with these Ziggies now. Alright, just in time. Those rabbits, they seem driven to cause chaos and mayhem. More so than usual, even. Yeah, I think we got that already, people. Unlike our two friends here, they seem to have been corrupted by that rabbit wearing the Super Merge headset. Could it be the Super Merge headset was corrupted on its way to this world? If so, we're all in terrible danger. Mario, we must find that poor rabbit fused to the headset. He's the key. Save him. We might just save this world. So, as you might have guessed, this is a free world that you can explore, but any jumping is actually completely different. You'll see why in a minute. Help me. I can't get clear. Thank you so much. But what is it now? I just received a message. Dearest people, whose ivory intelligence and compassion stands as a beacon of hope for us all. If my time is correct, you're in dire need of help. There's a name of this girl, apparently. It's called FB. Who's this FB person, anyway? Please open the attachments to this message. Their receipt is mostly auspicious, I assure you. Signed, your biggest fan. Now, I do not know anything about the ending. Like I said, I've only played up to close to the end, close to about halfway through the last world, and that's about it. I didn't actually finish the game. Alright. Wow, when the email said attachment, I thought it was talking about cat videos or something. So, are you guys ready to fight back? Careful now, my sensors detect 2 enemies on the battlefield. One is by partial cover, so your chance to hit is 50%. The other is out in the open, giving you a 100% chance to hit. You can cycle through targets with the left stick. Press A to shoot the selected target. So in case you haven't noticed, this is actually mainly a shooting strategy game. At first, you may think of it similar to other more popular strategy games like Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri, or more importantly, Civilization, and other sorts of strategy games. I have played some of those games, but let me tell you, this game is nothing like it. For one, it cuts down a lot of bits or I guess like whatever strategy part that you would normally have. Well, not really, but like a lot of the city builders and other stuff, it's not technically that at all. Instead, it's more or less just focused on pure combat instead. And supposedly combines the elements of strategy and theater in the same game. I honestly do not know what this game is based off of because, like I said, I did not find out anything. Howards. Now they're all behind full cover. We have a 0% chance of hitting them from here. We'll only hit their cover. We need to flank them. Move around with the left stick and position yourself for a 100% chance of hitting. Alright. So yeah, it's basically just teaching you tips on what to do. And this is just to show you that they can't even be hit unless if they're behind cover. Now we are going to be fast forwarding the rest of the extra stuff. Normally you have to you have to kind of watch the enemy slowly take their turns. We're obviously not going to do that. Also, there's a unique mechanic we can do. We can do a melee attack sort of by dashing them if they're close enough. What's funny is they don't even mention that you can do that right now, but they still let you do that. Anyway, as the intro chapter, it's pretty much a joke, just as always. Yes, this is split into multiple chapters. Each chapter has a series of levels in it. I will be going for 100%, however, I will be doing it more strategically, so while we will have to revisit worlds later, surprise, surprise, we're actually not going to go in like right away. Instead, we're going to focus on other stuff. As you can see, we don't even have access to other stuff yet. We kind of just have to explore on in this world. There, in the sky, see that? It began the moment the rabbits teleported into the Mushroom Kingdom. The energy we seen floating upwards after we defeated an enemy, I wonder. Oh, amazing to catch that rabbit with the Super Merge headset. It's key to stopping this, I'm sure of it. Anyways, this has a lot of elements from the Mario games too, though. Like, as you can see, like the red coin mission here. Very reminiscent to Mario games. And just like any shooter, we of course have some loot and treasure chests to come across, and we just already found a new weapon. Wish there was a way to check it out, though. We'll get access to that later, just not right now. Probably the funnest part of the game is it does have the Mario element, or I guess more like Legend of Zelda element of Explorer almost, where you can explore around and find hidden chests. Eventually give you some hidden secrets. Most of them just contain coins, but there are some chests that contain valuable stuff, including new weapons, which, because we are doing 100%, we'll be trying to find every single weapon in the game. And because of that, we'll want to open every chest at least once. Thankfully, as you saw in file setup that I showed you, there is a tracker that tracks all 3 sorts of various things. Rabbids you might have seen, that's something completely different, which I'm not going to even talk about until later. I have a very specific order that I'm doing this in, too, because I want to be at the maximum power here. Alright. So we got some stuff here. I'm trying to look for the green thing, but I don't remember what that is. Now to try and save myself some stress, I did pre-do World 1 a couple of times. Because another thing we have to do, you might have only briefly saw it, it's just like a golden icon. There's apparently tier and ranks that are based off of how you perform in a mission, and I'll mention more of these as you go in. Just think of it as like a time trial mission, like having bronze, silver, and gold stuff. If we want to get the true 100% stuff, and I'm doing this mostly for insanity, we have to get a gold on every single mission at least once. And that means seeing a golden trophy pop up at the end of each level. So we have to gold every single level. Anyways, sweet golden perennial of the... we are... Why did you do that? After that strange creature with the headset got here, skies have been nothing but bad news. Harry, these rabbits are not like their colleagues. Well, if you could stop him, I'll happily reward you. He's zapping my brethren left and right. Turns them really nasty. Suppose you come with us to help? Sorry, folks, but this time, it's time this power took things underground. Alright. But yeah, essentially we have to beat each level with a golden medal as well. It doesn't actually mention you as having to do that. We mainly need it though, anyway, for all the money we're gonna need, since we're gonna be buying every single weapon in this game, so you can get early on the better. And it's also important for something completely later. Anyways, FB is talking again. Dear Reaple, if one is to prevail, one must practice. Please sharpen your movement scares so you can turn the tables on those rascally rabbits. I've just uploaded a few suggestions to help guide your team in the next battle. Quick. Signed, your biggest fan. Oh, also, there is an easy mode sort of to the game. The Y thing you see there, yeah, that gets you about double the health you normally do. That's technically easy mode, and for this 100% run, we'll be banning it, meaning we have to play through the entire game without using that mode. This does make a couple of battles a bit easier. It also prevents us from healing, as starting from here on out, if we take any damage in these battles, we won't be able to heal until we finish the chapter. So that is something to know. You can deal damage while on the move anyways by performing a dash. Select a cell with an enemy and press A. Also, you can cover more ground with a chain jump. Select a cell with an ally and press A. How about an epic combo? After you dash an enemy, perform a chain jump with an ally. So we're gonna do exactly how I say and use this combo just to be funny. Or rather, because I want to. This doesn't actually give us much of any fame, but we will be able to use Mario later to do some earned damage here. Okay, we can actually hit them better from this spot, so we'll put behind this cover and finish off this side. But yes, as you might have already seen, I'm not allowing use of that extra health thing. That means as we take damage, it is permanent. By the way, this is what normally happens when enemies have to take their turn. Anyway, we're banning the use of that feature because obviously it feels kind of cheap to be able to restore your extra health in between each battle. You don't even need it for half of the game. The first chapter is so easy that if you know what you're doing, you can easily get through it, no problem. I did have some problems with it before at first because, well, this is variety of a game, so it could be a little bit tricky to figure out what to do. Alright, anyway. Yeah. But as you can see there, that Peach did take some damage. Because I'm playing but that damage is permanent, sort of. And it'll stay that way until we beat the chapter. So if we want to finish completely, we need to completely beat Arisel after. And for one of the biggest parts of getting golden on the thing is, you cannot lose a single character. That means you can't have a single character run out of HP at all. You can sometimes fix this later by the fact that there will be multiple characters to use in each chapter, so later you may have to change between certain characters and even use specific setups where you use a very particular character set for certain fights. For a while we won't have to do that, but later on we may have switching out our extra characters. But there's a problem, and you'll see why a little bit later. I'm not going to mention that though, because we need to focus on playing the game. It's time to pull together everything you learned so far. Attack, movement, team, jump, and jazz. Don't forget about cover. You can also switch heals anytime using L and R, and between attack and move using ZL and ZR. This simply mentions that we can do all sorts of different things. Okay, there is one guy that's not in cover. I'm actually gonna focus Mario's attacks on him first. He's not in cover. Will be an easy target. Oh, here we can see a little bit of a difference too. Some characters do have unique dynamics. Normally, characters only do 20 damage with a dash attack. Luigi, for some reason, does 10 extra damage, and that actually lets us kill that opponent in just 2 dashes instead of 3. Okay, don't really have much to do here. We'll go ahead and just throw all of our characters behind cover. Probably don't need to do this since this is only the second chapter in the game. Okay, we did not finish off that guy. As you might guess, there is also this sort of feels like an RPG almost in a way that, yes, it does have damage rolls, so you won't always kill opponents right away. You can fix this with some stronger stuff. Anyways, this is what the speed of the normally looks like. And this is what it looks like in fast speed. Get used to it, because we're going to be in fast speed for pretty much the entire rest of the game. eventually. We'll start by taking out this punk first, because he is mean, and we don't want him to survive. Now, to try and put a little bit less stress on my recording schedule, no, I'm not going to be recording 15-minute episodes anymore. Because this is another level-based game, I've decided to once again split it up into chapters until I get to the challenges, at which point I might just split them up based off of what world we're in. This is mainly just so that my videos end up being shorter and thus more watchable, and also because since this is a level-based game, it makes the most sense to do it like this. Because it just makes it much easier for me to record then. Mario, the creature with the headset, away, but I suppose you did clean up his mess. Being a plan, my word, it looks like I owe you a reward. Our good friends Rabbid Luigi and Rabbid Peach helped out as well. Yeah, great. Oh. Apparently, Rabbid Peach does not like getting just a single coin. Okay, here. So we get a chest instead. This one you must always open. It gives us a little collectible. Of course, we can't check it out anywhere. Then there's this, which... Yep, there's hidden skills to this game, apparently. It's actually the main reason why we're doing this game in a particular order, because there are locked item stuff. They're locked behind this beat character, apparently, having access to certain moves. And if you don't have those moves, you won't even be able to find all the chests in the particular area you are going through. So we will need to use all the skills if we want to traverse, which means we have to do a very particular order to make this work. And of course, since this is a Mario game without Toad, Mario, thank goodness you're here. Yours is the first friendly face I've seen since the Mushroom Kingdom turned into, well, this mess. Your timing couldn't be more perfect. I can't find Toadette. All thanks to the changes caused by these odd pipes your rabbit friends brought with them into your world. You guys seem to know what you're doing, sort of. Could you help me find her, please? Okay, but first you're gonna see firsthand how big of a pain these pipes are. Maybe, but they look so cool. Oh, be quiet. Speaking of which, you might have already noticed, yes, because this is kind of a Rabbid Kingdom, sort of, and Mushroom Kingdom together. The pipes have bunny ears on them, which is just part of being here. Anyways, what about this pipe? Or rather, cannon. This seems interesting. Well, if you activate this, or like, rather go into one of these pipes, it basically activates this game's version of a bonus challenge. If you see my Super Mario Odyssey playthrough, you might know exactly what this is. This is basically a sub-level. The sub-levels do not have you fight any enemies in this game. You simply just have to do a blue coin challenge of collecting all the coins within a certain time. And each time you do it, you will get a new weapon, and that is guaranteed to be unlockable. I don't think I've ever not gotten a weapon from this. Sometimes there may be other rewards that will come later, but as far as I'm aware, each time I've done that thing, I've usually gotten a weapon every single time. So we'll be seeing all of those special sub-levels, rather, when we get a chance. Oh, by the way, there's puzzles to sometimes fix these pipes. That's a pretty simple one, but later we're gonna have to do some more tougher ones later. Anyways, here's Toadette. Toadette, I'm so glad you're okay. I'm fine. Who I'm really worried about is Princess Peach. Mario, can you go back to Peach's castle and make sure everything's alright? Certainly not. We need to find handset before... Our message. Congratulations on getting this far. Wise man once said, if I had 3 hours to chop a tree, I will spend 2 of them sharpening my axe. I urge you now to return to Princess Peach's castle and do just that. Prepare yourselves for the fight to come. Well, that's all well and good, but how? You may be wondering how, and it took you to read this email. I've updated your operating system. It now includes a new GPS warp to mechanism I call Spline. The name is a work on promise. Anyhow, simply activate it and you and your friends will return to Princess Peach's castle immediately. Signed, your biggest fan. Well, that's amazing if true. I suppose I should give it a try. Whoa! They just kind of teleported without me. Anyways, now we can finally go to Princess Peach's castle. This is also where we finally unlock access to a whole bunch of different stuff. So this is the main hub of the game where we get to the different worlds, in case you haven't already noticed. And also Peach is here. She's one of the few that hasn't been captured. One of the few characters to not be captured by the Rabbids yet, apparently. Mario, thank heavens you're alright. It's so good to see you. Probably noticed this, but the Mushroom Kingdom's been torn apart. You have to do something, Mario. Who are you new friends? Allow me, Your Highness. I'm Beepo, an anonymously intelligent scientific research and operational assistant. I see, and... Hello, this one, Rabbit Luigi, and this is Rabbit Peach. She's taking her cosplay a bit too seriously, I'm afraid. Now, since there's both a rabbit version and a regular version of Peach and other characters, there will be times where they'll meet each, and this leads to some very interesting moments. Anyways, the main reason we are brought here is because apparently rabbits are building stuff. Yes, their friends are also quite, well, they're spirited, as you can see. Appears as if the rabbits we freed from Megabug's control have ended up here, and no worse for wear either. That's right, they keep popping up in just like you did. Oh yes, they've been quite busy. I suggest you take a look at what they've built if you have a chance. I believe there's something called a Battle HQ. And then there's the museum. They love to collect souvenirs from the Mushroom Kingdom. Come, let us see for ourselves what your rabbit cousins have been up to. So we have a couple of buildings to check. First is HQ, which gives us a special weapon selection. This is where we get to buy and upgrade weapons, and this is actually where we're going to be buying most of our weapons. However, you might have noticed that weird pop-up. Well, as part of the GLC, we get upgraded weapons for free, and each of our primary first characters we unlock in the first part of the storyline gets access to their own super weapon. Mario gets the Fragmenter, gains the chance to honey enemies, which effectively stops them from moving, and also does more damage against Ziggies. Peach gets the Ritual Deflator, also does honey, and also does more damage against hoppers. Then we get Rabbit Luigi's super ability, which is the Acil Eradicator. I have no idea how it's pronounced, but anyways, it does more damage and it gives us a chance to push the enemies, as well as again giving us more damage against Ziggies. Now, the push is actually really broken in this game. If you can get pushes on enemies, you can often get them in such ways where you'll knock them out of the map completely, causing some very interesting stuff to happen. Then we have a museum. Here we can kind of just see what we've unlocked, including artwork of the game, music, artwork of some characters and some other animators we've met. And then mysterious tarots. So you have tarots, free models, soundtracks, and artwork where we can look at. This is important for 100% completion because we have to collect all those. Also, we had to go into all those buildings in case you didn't know, because we get this, aha, look over there after we do it. And there's no way to continue on until you do that. Discover Rabbids have outfitted a cannon so it could launch us back to the ancient gardens. And that is the name of this first world, by the way. This comes in handy, as our mysterious helper gave me the power to warp to Princess Peach's castle, and the cannons can send us back to the front. The ability to return to Princess Peach's castle at will has even been added to the pause menu. So now we can just pause and do that whenever you want. By the way, that washing machine over there, it may become important later, but don't worry about it. It's not actually going to be that useful until later. Now we do have one mission we can do here. That's another red coin challenge. Just go backwards here to complete it. This is another new weapon we can buy. The Blobmaster. I like the some funny descriptions of some of these weapons too. That's actually a nice, cool thing that they added to. Well, actually, it's always been there. It just looks cool. Alright. I like how we only gone through 2 levels already, and we have a lot of tutorial stuff. This is actually why I'm splitting it up like this, because so it doesn't take long. So to try and make this a little bit bearable, each of my sessions that I do will basically just be a full world for the first bit or so. Because I want to finish this game and I feel like it's really cool. Alright. Now, we are going to do one more medal, unfortunately. We're still not done yet, but don't worry, we're almost done. Anyways, we find a new enemy now. If you read the epic description I was talking about, we might have already known what this is, but yeah, it's that enemy, the Hopper. This is basically a stronger version of a Ziggy, but with a new ability, which you'll see in a minute. Apparently, the power of jump. A new breed of hopping enemies. Team Jump will prove invaluable here. Use it to gain the upper hand. You say that, but they have something that's interesting too. What's this? Our Sympathizer just sent me a system update. From now on, before combat beds, you can choose whether to leap headlong to battle or take time to carefully plan your strategy thanks to this new app called Tacticam. Try it. So there's actually a couple things you can do, but he didn't mention is you can actually switch weapons and switch teams mid-battle. That might actually come into play later. Then we have Tacticam, where we can see a little bit of info on the different characters, and we can also see other characters as well. Their power, their jump. You can also see their different abilities. For instance, each character has a different ability. For instance, this enemy can dash. This enemy actually has their own team jump. And you can also see where they are and how much HP you have before you fight. Then, when you're ready, you can just leap into the battle. I'm only going to be doing this a couple of times, unfortunately, but it's really cool. Anyways, this is our first time playing with new weapons. Normally you actually are supposed to upgrade to even weapons here, but because of what we did before, we're gonna do other stuff. Okay, I'm just gonna shoot this guy with each. We're gonna just pass the turn to the enemies. Okay. Wanted to wait for them to go up above a little bit. So this is supposed to show, this area is supposed to show that, by getting up into higher ground, you actually do more damage. Unfortunately, we don't get a guaranteed chance to hit the enemies with that. Also, there's our first status effect of the game. We pushed the enemy, which made it kind of go all willy-nilly and move around. If that pushes the enemy out of the area entirely, it'll do even more damage. So that is something to note. We don't have a way of killing this enemy completely. Or, I guess we're not killing them. We're turning them back to normal, I guess is what I should be saying. Or I guess making them go bye-bye. One of the two. We'll go ahead and defeat this one with a dash now. Move on to attack this enemy. Now, very early on, these first few chapters aren't really that bad. You can kind of just do whatever and you'll be fine. Mostly just tutorial chapters just to teach you how to play the game. It's not until about halfway through, or just about almost halfway through. Oh, by the way, the push does affect your own characters too, so if you push an enemy in a weird way, it can sometimes move other characters as well, just like it did Rabbid Peach there. Be careful, because that because sometimes you will knock your own characters out of bounds too, and that does do extra damage, so be careful. Alright, anyway. Now, Luigi has the push attack, so I actually think I want to have him on the offense. Yeah, this area seems quiet, but my sensors hint at the presence of lots of hidden enemies. Possible to defeat them all. Let's focus on reaching that safe zone at the end of the battlefield. As long as one of us reaches the safe zone, we win. Also, as you might have guessed, we can check the elements of different characters. We can see that each of the characters have normal bullet, but later some characters will actually have different... Okay, I'm gonna put Mario behind cover first. Whoopsie. So we want to try and use the push effect ideally on a different opponent if we can, because if we get it just right, as you can see, we could just kick them right out of the map like that. It looks really cool when that happens. In fact, if you set it up just right, you can often get it so that multiple enemies get knocked out of the map if you time it just right. That could really lead to some battles where you get multiple enemies defeated at once, which is nice. Or I guess in this case, Ace turned back to normal. Yeah. Fortunately, we do not have any way to increase our movement yet, so we kind of just have to do other stuff. I'm just gonna go ahead and move Peach just so that, well, yeah, Rabbid Peach does. Just so that I don't waste my turn doing nothing. I like doing that, in case you haven't noticed already. I'm gonna move Mario to about here. Normally I actually put him behind full cover, but half cover will do nicely. She says we'll probably be able to take this enemy out this turn. Alright. Can we reach this one? No, we can't. Okay, that's actually awkward. I was hoping to reach him this turn. We're gonna go ahead and move all of our characters as much as they can move, though, because we definitely need that. Okay, well, we did remove his cover, at least. So now, enemy's gonna have to find new cover. But by the way, as you might have already noticed, there are two different forms of cover, 50% and full cover. 50% cover doesn't always work. It gives you a 50-50 chance of still being hit. we did not get good luck there. They hit us multiple times there. The 100% cover means we will not be hit at all. Effectively indicating that we're going to do our stuff. Honestly, it doesn't matter what we do in this. Also, I moved really bad. As you might have guessed, while full covers are more powerful, they can also technically block your sight. And I mean this literally, as you might have noticed. If you can't see an enemy, you cannot hit it. And this makes sense. Any shooting game would have this any other way, probably. So, if you can't see the enemy, you cannot hit it at all. Okay. I do not like Rabbit Peach's setup of health. She did already take a bunch of damage in the first battle, so we're gonna set Rabbit VJ like this on purpose, so he'll take the hits instead. Because since we're not using the extra health cheat, or easy mode rather, this game basically, it's easier to just try and split the damage between our characters. By the way, we don't quite make it. There's no way to speed this up either. I think there's a specific movement that might let you complete this a turn early, but... Also, we could probably just pass the turn to the enemies and finish this off if we wanted to. I'm not gonna do that. Instead, I'm gonna do something that I probably should have done before. Let's change up right over there directly. Not sure if this will work or not, but we'll try to kill at least one enemy over here while we're here. Probably should have finished off that other enemy. I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, whatever. Oh, okay, cool. We hit that enemy. As you might have guessed, it's not guaranteed that enemy will hit your cover if it's a 50%, or they'll hit your cover. Anyway, just finished this battle though. Alright. Now we finally finished the third chapter, or rather third level of this chapter. I feel like it makes sense that we're going to end this episode here. Also, what am I kidding? It's not chapters. This is Mario we're talking about, so of course it's going to be known as worlds, right? Yeah, that's probably what it is. Yeah, see, it even says on the pause menu, World 1, Ancient Gardens. That makes sense now. Alright, well, that's going to be the end of this episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like you enjoyed, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video where we continue for the second part of Ancient Gardens. See you guys later. Bye.